What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Relentless Runners podcast. You are listening to episode 28. I'm your co-host, Christine.
And I'm Toni.
And we are the co-founders of Relentless Runners, which is an online run coaching team that provides one-on-one run coaching with a team of 10 coaches, a registered dietitian, a strength and conditioning coach, and a clinical psychologist to teach our athletes all about mindset. We really started this podcast to bring you our running knowledge so that you can follow along, learn, and grow as a runner.
Woohoo! And today our episode is going to be all things Corral Chronicles. Sorry if you hear Brooks lapping his water in the background. It is so loud for me. But anyways, we're going to just share our training for the last, what's been going on in the last week or so. Next week, we'll bring some more educational info your way. But yeah, I know that Christina and I are in totally different places. Christine has been focusing on some fun speed still since we've transitioned away from grandma's. I'm recovering from my ankle injury. So Christine, tell us like how the last week has been going and what you've been up to and how you're feeling.
All right, cool. So I got sick last week.
Boo.
My allergies just completely crushed me. So I was, I did like the first couple of days of my runs last week, and then my Wednesday workout did not. Wait, no, I can't even remember. I like get my weeks mixed up now because
yesterday felt like
I
Friday
get
for me.
So
like, I understand.
I'm like, wait, did I do my workout last week?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I didn't. I was like, oh, I'm going to push it a day and to Thursday. And then I was so sick. Like I woke up even worse that next day. So I didn't do my workout yesterday. I only ended up doing like 19 of my 36 miles last week just because I was sick. And so I finally got back out there. So I did Monday and Tuesday, and then I didn't run until Saturday. That's what it was, that. Okay. And I went out Saturday, and I was like, I think I had scheduled like 12, and it was like a workout. And I was like, well, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm just going to see if I can get 3 in and see if I can breathe. And it was also, we had a massive heat wave last week. It was like 96 degrees every day.
Everyone in the Northeast, I'm so sorry. If you're from Arizona or Florida, you're probably like, glad you got a taste of what we deal with every day.
Yeah, well, they don't deal with our winters. And we
That's
do.
true.
So
that's true. Yeah, we're just not. We weren't prepared for this. We weren't prepared for August weather at the like day one of summer. So
yeah, no, literally. Yeah, so it was super hot. So, anyways, on Saturday I went out and I was like, I wanted to hit at least 5. That was my goal. I was like, I'm going to try to get at least 5. If I feel good at 3, I'll just keep going. Whatever. Mm-hmm. So I ended up doing 7, and I felt good, but my gosh, it was so hot. Like it was probably 85. I went out at like 9 a.m. Usually I try to go out at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
But I was like, I felt like I really needed the sleep just because of not feeling well all week. So I'm like, I'm just going to go out a little later. So I did. It definitely was. I have not sweated that much in like, I don't even know how long, last summer, I guess, probably. But I was like, it was just dripping off of me, like dripping down my elbows off. It was swimming in it.
Yeah.
But it felt so good at the same time.
It does. It feels so good. You're just like, I'm out here. You feel like David Goggins. You're like, I'm in the elements right now. Like, I'm fucking doing it. But yeah, when like it's dripping off of your shorts, whether you're wearing compression shorts or not, like when everything is just dripping off, like that's when you know it's hot and humid.
Like you could wring out. Yeah, it was very hot and humid.
Do this to ourselves? We're like, yeah, we
felt
love
good
this
though.
shit.
Like I totally love it. Like it felt good, and I actually was like on the quicker side of like my easy pace, which I was kind of surprised about, despite it being hot.
But
I was just going with it.
Did you prioritize your like hydration a little bit more?
I did, and I did what we talked about last time. I stopped at McDonald's and I filled up my water bottle.
Oh, good.
I did it. Yeah. So I did like, I think by that point I had gotten to like 4 miles, and I ran like 4 miles without stopping. And I drank 17 or 18 ounces of Scratch, a scoop and a half in 4 miles, like sucked dry in 4 miles. And so I was like, well, I still have more time to go, and I'm just melting out here. So I'm like, I'm going to go in. So I went in and I filled it up with cold water, and then I got ice cubes and I was shoving them in my bra. And then I was holding on to ice cubes and kind of like putting them like really wherever I could shove it. And which felt great. And so then I kept going, and I finished up the 7 miles. The last like 3 miles, like after I stopped, like those last 3 miles were kind of like rough. Like I kept going, but it would be like, then I would like stop for a second and be like, oh my gosh. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. And then I would like stop for a minute. I'm like, okay. Like, and I don't get upset about it. Like it is what it is, but it's just like, I felt it. I felt, and it didn't help that I was sick all week and I didn't run for Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
and
3
it was
days.
The hottest week of the year too. Yeah. Like, and
my body
even
was
walking, like Will and I just took Brooks on a walk. I remember like last week, but like we couldn't really walk him very much. And it was the evening ish and it was still real fuel in the hundreds.
The heat index that morning, it was like 112 or something.
It's
I was
insane.
like,
yeah, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Yeah, that's so wild. But I think that you did a good job of like listening to your.
I was just glad to have gotten out there and like whatever. I ran a couple miles Sunday and then I ran Monday, like I think 4 or 5 miles. I can't remember. One of the two. It's usually always 4 or 5 that day. And then yesterday is always, I always run Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday night, Little Miss Charlie decided she was going to be up the entire night. Like, I don't know what the deal was, but I really don't know. Like, I always try to like figure out, well, what was it? What triggered that? Because she's such a good sleeper. But she got up at like 11:30, and then again at like 2, and then she was awake from 2:45 to 3:45 to 4. And then my alarm went off at 4:45 to get up and go run. And so I got up just because it's such a habit for me to just get up. So I got up and
we're getting up.
Yep. Yeah. And I started going through all the motions. And like, when I know I was voice messaging you this, Toni, the other day, but like, when you have not gotten enough sleep and it's only like 4 hours of, interrupted sleep and your stomach hurts when you wake up, like your body just like physically hurts. Yeah. Yeah. I felt that way. And I'm going through the motions of getting ready and I go down, I get my coffee ready. Oh, which also, I know I was telling you just signs of to not run that day.
Sad for you. But a good sign.
Yeah, it was a sign. My power had gone out like the day before. And so I reset the clock on my coffee maker. But what I forgot to do was reset the clock for the delayed start. So I had the delayed start on my coffee. It's always brewed by the time I come downstairs. It had brewed at midnight and had been sitting there for 4 hours. And so when I came downstairs, it was like, the heater had already gone off. And so it was like lukewarm. And microwaved coffee is never the same. And I was like, well, that kind of sucks. So I microwaved my coffee and I'm sitting on the couch like I normally do. And I was trying to sip my coffee, but I was like falling asleep while sitting up. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is not good. And so then I'm sitting there like, well, I'm up, like I might as well go. But I was so tired. I was like, all I want to do is curl up in a ball on this couch because we have like the most comfortable couch. And I was like, I just want to like go to sleep. Yeah. And so that's what I did. I just put my coffee on the counter on the thing. And I was just like, slid down and like pulled the blanket up over me. And then I was out. And then
chill for 5 more minutes.
Close your
Willingly
eyes.
know you're going to fall back asleep.
Yeah. I'm just going to close my eyes and then I'll get up and go run. Well, no, that did not happen. I woke up at 7 o'clock when Bobby came down the stairs. He was like, did you not run? I was like, yeah, no, I passed out. So all signs pointing to my body needed more sleep. Yeah. So I got a couple extra. I got another 2 hours of sleep, which was good. And so I didn't run yesterday. I did run this morning though. I went to the track this morning. It was like 75 degrees when I woke up and like 80% humidity. And I was like, all right, we're doing it. So it actually wasn't. It actually really wasn't that bad. But today's workout was actually pretty rough. I still think I'm battling a lot of my allergies and I have like a ton of chest congestion and all that stuff, which my head hurt I had like a headache I never have headaches during runs. Like I had a headache during the run and my stomach was super off. It just felt really uneasy. Yeah. But I did it and I ended up cutting it a mile short and walking home the cool down and not running the full cool down because I was like, my stomach hurts so bad right now. I'm kind of afraid of what might happen if I continue to run at this point.
We don't know what I mean. Stomach hurt this is. Is this like a belly or like?
No, this is like I might crap my pants. Yeah, kind of thing.
Like the cramping, like ooh, yeah, percolating
for sure. Yes.
Sorry, I had like a strong. I'll tell you in a second, but I had like another coffee today, and I'm on one right now, so that's why.
Okay, love it. Love the energy. Okay. So the workout was 5 200s,
Okay.
And
we love 200s.
Okay, I love 200s, all with 200-meter jog recovery between, which were totally a walk jog at that point.
Yep.
3 1Ks.
Oh, I hate 1Ks.
With 200-meter jog between, which is like nothing.
That's nothing.
Which is like nothing.
You're not even like catching your breath at that point.
Which again,
especially now
was
with
a
your
walk
allergies
jog.
And the humidity.
And the heat and all this stuff. So that was, I'm pretty sure I walked like 75% of that 200 and then I would jog the rest and then go. And then after that was another 5 200s. Everything was a 200-meter between. Yeah, I rallied for those.
Yeah.
I was actually like a second or two under all the first 500s. I was 10 seconds over on all 3. I'm super consistent. Like exactly 10 seconds for all 3 of my 1Ks. I was over. Too slow.
Okay.
But I tried. The effort was there. I don't know what it was. I just couldn't kick it. I don't know. I know, but I was just like, the first lap was okay. And then it would be like I was fading and then I wouldn't realize it. And then I'd be like, I can't kick it anymore. Like I was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
But then the last 500 or the last 5 200s, I was like within a second. I was either on, under, or a second over. It was like, so I was there for those. So I did it, but it was definitely like, I did not feel as empowered and as good as I normally do during those kinds of workouts. I usually feel pretty good during those.
Well, those are that normally like that type of workout. And I've done that workout like similar or same like before is like, that one is hard in general. Like even when everything is lined, like good weather, feeling good, that's a hard one to do. Ks are so difficult. It's
especially with only a 90-second jog recovery.
Yeah. And that's such a short like recovery too. Like it's really challenging. So yeah, it makes sense. So like when you add in like the smallest change in weather and then also again, like allergies and stuff, or you're just like you're feeling off that day, it's tough. And I actually remember like doing a similar repeat with like Ks and 200s and having a similar experience if I didn't feel great. And I think I didn't do all the Ks. I think I cut one short and then I was like, all right, let me just cut out these and then be done. But it's so interesting how after like the 200s, like, and I know everyone's different, but like for us, like it's in the 40s or whatever, like seconds wise. And so like when you're doing that type of like workout, it's like you can do anything for 40 seconds.
Yeah.
But then when you get longer, like I feel like 2 minutes on those 90 seconds, it's like, okay, whatever. But like 2 minutes on is like where it really gets like
changes the game.
Rough.
Yeah,
it does. Yeah.
And my 1Ks the pace that I was aiming for is I was aiming for like a 650 pace, like a 415, which I've done before. Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, that's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for anywhere from like a 650 to a 655 average pace for my 5K next week. Which, based on how that felt, I don't know, because that felt pretty crappy.
Again, you weren't feeling it.
No, I totally am not, and I've been there before. And I'm like I don't know. I feel like one of my strengths is I don't read into how workouts go or how hard workouts or like race pace feels during training. One of my strengths is that I'm able to show up on race day and just completely surprise myself and run paces for way longer than I ever thought I could. Today is at 5K effort. I felt almost impossible. Like I was really struggling, but I would not be surprised if I go out and average that next week for 3 miles because that's just the difference in doing a track workout at 5:30 in the morning by yourself versus going and doing a race. There's just a really big difference there. And it doesn't like what I'm trying to say is today's workout is not like a knock to my confidence on what I can do next week. Yeah. But I did kept telling myself, like when I was trying to do the 1Ks at like a 650 pace, I was like, damn it, Christine, you ran the last part of your half marathon faster than this. What are you doing? Like you can like kick it, girl. I was just like yelling at myself. I was like, what is wrong with you? Go. I just like couldn't,
and
I just couldn't get my body going.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
Not today.
I was like, yeah.
Oh, well, good job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the effort was there. I did it.
Are you excited for your 5K though? I feel like this is because grandma's didn't happen. Like this is going to be so fun for you to be able to go out and like still like put all of your hard work from like the winter into the spring, like out
basically
there.
all
just get out there again.
Like a March-ish or so. So I'm excited. 5Ks make me nervous.
Sure.
Because if you like really like race a 5K. They're freaking hard.
Yeah.
So in that sense, but like that doesn't scare me. I know it is. I've never run this one before, but I do know that it is a flat and fast course.
I was just going to ask about the course. Yeah. Because I feel like you've done hilly ones and flat ones.
This one is flat. It's the reason I am doing it because one of the moms at the school who started getting into running, she told me about it and I was like, ooh, that sounds fun. And she said it's flat and fast. And on the website, it says that. And I was like, okay, well,
we love that.
Let's go with it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that side of it. Yeah. My last 5K, which I haven't done one since November, I wouldn't call that one. That was a huge postpartum PR for me, that one. I was like 20 seconds off from my lifetime PR back then.
What is your lifetime PR?
21:36. And that was just like not really training for a 5K. That was just me going out and doing it like a few weeks after I ran my first marathon. I was like, let's just, oh my God, and let's go sprint and not die. And I was like, what, 20 something or low 20s at that point. So you know, my body could handle that sort of thing. But so my goal is to lifetime PR. That's like what I'm going for. So we'll see. But at the same time, I also have the heat that I'm going to have to factor in. Sure. So that might be playing things. But even last June, I ran that first 5K after having Charlie. And I completely surprised myself with that one. And it was so hot and humid that day. Yeah. And I still showed up and did it. So I'm kind of excited. There are going to be a lot of people that I know. I don't know if a lot is the right way to say it, but like a handful of people that I know who are going to be there either running or spectating. I will say that does kind of make me nervous sometimes. Like if I'm being totally honest, like I kind of like to go to do the ones that like nobody knows me and I can just like be in, and I don't have to like, not that I worry about like what people think, but like there is that aspect there sometimes. And I just can like, I don't have to worry about that. And I just like do my thing and don't worry about who I'm going to see. So there is like a lot. I don't think any of those people listen to this podcast. If they do then. But so like there is that part of that kind of is like, I have to like, you know, I'm going to see a bunch of people that I know, whether they're spectating or running it, but maybe that'll add an extra layer of competitiveness for me. I don't know. We'll see.
Sure. I think you normally respond more to the competitive side of things.
And that is true. Yeah. And even the one in November that I did, that was right here in my town. And like, I knew everybody basically that was there. And that was when I was fine. That was the one that was 20 seconds from my lifetime PR. That was the one where my shoe came untied. Had that not happened, I would have probably lifetime PR.
Big important question. What shoes are you going to wear?
I think I'm kind of mad because I was trying to do red, white, and blue for 4th of July.
Oh yeah.
So I think I'm going to do my Nikes since nobody messaged me to buy them. So.
And you did say like 5Ks you felt good about wearing, which I agree. I think you'll be fine.
I think I'll be fine. Yeah. And if it does flare up something, I've got Boilermaker the weekend after, but that's not a goal race. That's just like I'm going to go do.
Funsies.
And then after that, I'm taking basically 2 weeks off of running.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah. So I definitely have like July is definitely going to be like the back half of July is going to be a whole big down 2 weeks for me.
Yeah.
So I have that to kind of look forward to. I think I'm going to sleep a little bit longer, but I still think I'm going to get up and just like walk for like 30 minutes. I'll still sleep longer. I don't need to like get up early, but earlier for me, not for you. But so anyways, I think I'm going to wear the Nike Vaporflies that I wore for Houston, the pink one, the hot pink and orange ones. And then I'll wear red, white, and blue, everything else. I was just I was just looking at Amazon yesterday. I was going to buy like the glitter.
Yes.
Just
unicorn
like face
snot.
glitter. Is that what like it's? Oh, well, there was a lot of different brands, but is that what it's called?
Think that
Unicorn snot?
One of my athletes, Rachel, she wore it for it was her last half marathon. And I asked her to send me a picture of which I was like, I just
Amazon
like want
has
that for my next one.
Yeah. Red, white, and blue. And there's like stars. And I was like, ooh, I can do that here.
That.
But okay, if we're going to get like all nitty gritty, I love to race in sunglasses.
Same. Yeah. Same.
So I'm like, if I put glitter on my eye, the sides of like my temples, like what's the point?
It's pointless.
Yeah,
you're so right.
So that stuff that I was looking at on Amazon can also go in your hair. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just do it in my hair. And then I was looking at tinsel to like kind of feed through. I think I ended up putting in the cart just like this like red, white, and blue kind of like it's like a scrunchie. It's like a hair tie, but it has kind of like things coming off of it. And I was like, I'll just put my hair up in a bun and just kind of like plop that over it, just so there's something, you know, festive.
Yeah.
And then I have tons of red and blue sports bras and shorts and stuff. So I'll just mix and match all that. But
so exciting.
Yeah, but the pink doesn't match though. So I was kind of like bent out of shape about that.
Damn. Just throw the whole vibe off. It's okay.
Damn shoes.
Stupid.
If they're going to make me faster, I'm going to wear it though. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm just going to clash hot pink, orange, blue, red.
Yeah. F it.
We'll go with it. No one cares.
Well, I'm excited for you. That's going to be fun. Yeah. It's always fun to like get back out there and race. And I feel like you haven't raced in a while too. So that'll be good.
I haven't.
Yeah. Yay. Super
we'll let you know
exciting.
next week it won't have happened yet. So in 2 weeks, you guys will hear about it. Yeah. Actually, there's even another week lag because now that we're doing these on like a week lag. So you guys got to either follow me or on Instagram or you have to wait to find out how that 5K goes.
But
yep.
So good.
Cool. Well, how have you been going? Update us.
I'm feeling so good now. Like emotionally. I don't even know where to begin. What did I talk about last week? Did I talk about like my therapy appointment last week or no? Was that before my therapy appointment?
Talked about, you didn't get into the details of the woo-woo doctor. You did bring it up though, but you didn't get into any details of it.
I meant my like therapy appointment.
You did
not my
say
woo-woo
that
doctor appointment.
Oh, okay. You did, because I was telling you, because I brought up how my doctor asked me if I was a perfectionist, because you were talking about that.
Because that was like Tuesday. Oh no, I had therapy right after our podcast. So I was probably talking about the fact that I had a therapy appointment
that's what
that I was going to. Yeah. But I mean, the woo doctor, I'm not going to go into detail about that. We're just keeping an open mind. We're just trying everything. And I'll get some more insight before I like share, but I did see like a holistic doctor and it was a very interesting experience.
Mm-hmm.
There were moments where I was like, how did you know this? There was moments of like, what did I spend my money on? There was moments that I was like trying hard not to laugh. And then moments where I was like, holy crap, this is like insane and interesting. So it was a lot, but I'm glad that I tried it. So I am going to see him again next month, I think. But I had like a real, like a therapy appointment with my like actual like therapist chick. And that was super helpful and very eye-opening for me. So like what I talked to her about last Tuesday, and it's so crazy because the place that I was in going into that appointment, like when you guys were listening to me on the podcast like last week compared to where I'm at this week is just like total 180, like from a mindset perspective. So that's where therapy's great and I'm grateful for it. But she opened my eyes, and I know, Christine, I shared this with you a little bit, but we just talked about like I got emotional, like I was emotionally like fine about it. And then of course I go to talk to my girl and then all the tears came out, but just like releasing a lot of like frustration, sadness, being tired is the best way to describe how I've been feeling this go around of just like being injured all the time. And so I was able to release those feelings, which is good. And then after that, we talked about just like my values. So something that she asked me was, what are things that you're doing this week to like outside, like obviously since you can't run, like what's something that you're doing this week to like enjoy yourself? So I shared the different stuff. And then she asked like, once you can start running again, what are the things that you're going to continue to do? And I like realized in that moment, I was like, wow, like I say no to things all the time because of running. And it's different than, you know, when you're training for a big race, like, of course, there's sacrifice involved, but that even aside, like still in general, like there's times where I can do things and I still say no just because I put running on the forefront so much when it comes to like friends and things with my husband and like all the stuff and stuff that I just like don't prioritize in general. So we talked a little bit about that. And I understand now, like in the moment she was like, I'm going to send you this worksheet. I want you to like go through it. And then I want us like at our next appointment, I want us to like talk about it. I'm like, okay, like what else? Like give me some more stuff, Dr. Dean, like I need to know. And so she's like, no, I think it's good for you to like go through this first and then we'll like follow up and talk about it. And I understand why she did that now because going through the worksheet, it's like a values, it's called the Valued Living Questionnaire. So it goes through the different domains in your life, ranging from like relationships, spirituality, community, health and physical well-being, self like development, employment, all that kind of stuff. So there's 10 different ones listed. And I X'd out like 2 that she said not to worry about. And then it prompts you some questions, briefly summarize each one. And then it has you rank each one on a scale of 0 to 10 in terms of importance. It then has you rank everything on a scale of 0 to 10 in terms of like how successful you're at working at those things in the last month. And then after there, you rank all of them, 10 being the highest, one being the last, like bottom of the totem pole in terms of priority of like where you want to start prioritizing each one to start working on. So there was some really eye-opening experiences, like things that I noticed of like, these are top priority, but I'm not prioritizing them. Or the number is not as high as where I want it to be in terms of how much I've actually been prioritizing it, even though I deem it as so important to me. So that was really good. And it kind of lit a fire under my ass, if I'm being honest, where it's like, I need to nurture these other areas of my life. And like it was eye opening for me to realize that like running is such a big part of my life, as it should be. It's an amazing sport and we love it. And it's like our career, and I coach and I love that. Would not change anything for the world. It's what I consume all the time on social media. It's also all that I talk about on my social media because I have a running like social media account. And again, like even when I'm like talking to other friends, like of course, like I always talk about running and stuff, but like I realized how much I don't view myself as very much, or like allow myself to think about myself outside of like my training. And so, yeah, so I've just like really been trying to pour into these other areas of my life in the last week, like saying yes to things. Like it was interesting. Like my friend asked me to get coffee this morning and we were going to like catch up because I hadn't seen her in a bit. And then we were going to work from the coffee shop. And immediately I'm so used to being in this habit of like saying no. And I'm like, no, yes. Like, and then I got excited about it. I'm like, this is going to be a great day. I'm going to get up early. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get dressed up. Like I have normal clothes on today. And then we're going to like catch up and have coffee. And like, I got breakfast there and we worked a little bit before I came back, like for us to record this. And so even like saying yes, like I impromptu was like, Will, let's go out to dinner tonight. Like, let's just walk down the street and like go to one of our favorite places and like have a drink. And it's just been like really nice. And I felt so good and balanced. And I realized where I just need to like shift things a little bit for myself. So that is one thing that has been like very big for me. And I'm excited for my follow-up appointment on Friday in therapy just to like talk about things. But the other part of everything too that was eye-opening for me as well is like I talked to you about this, but I realized that I needed to take a break from coaching, which is like crazy. I've been like coached by like my coach for a very long time, like 4.5 years. And the only time we took a break was while I had my ankle like surgery and stuff going on. But I was just putting a lot of pressure on myself about like reporting like a lot of stuff. Like I would have to report from my PT to my coach on like how to like set up the schedule. It just was starting to feel like a lot. And I kind of got to a place where I was like, I just kind of like want to work through this phase of my running, not just right now, but honestly, I decided for the rest of the year, like I want to do it like on my own. And I think I just need that space to like again have no goals in running this year, because something that was eye-opening to me, and I had a call with her the other day with Carly just to like talk about things and how I was feeling. I sent her this email and she like instantly texted me and was like, I support your decision. She just wanted to check on me as a friend just to see how I'm doing and just talk about things. And like we literally talked for an hour about all things. We always talk about coaching and like everything else too. So it was just good to like catch up to. But I just appreciated that so much for us to just talk about like what my needs are right now. And she was like, I completely support your decision. I think that this will be so good for you. And like, you've been through a lot, which like I have. And I think it'll be really good for you to just like take my time and like kind of do my own thing for a while. And I even said to her too, like, I don't know what I'm going to want like beyond like after this year, if I'm going to want to continue to like self-coach, or work with a coach or whatever. But I think just like giving myself space to just be on my own time and again not have any running goals is going to be good. And I think that that's where I was noticing this huge disconnect with training for grandmas. And I would talk to you about this too, Christine, where it's like after when I was building up for my knee injury, I don't know, there was just something that like shifted where it was this big disconnect for me where I wasn't I wasn't into it. Like I just the fire like to I probably because I'm just again exhausted from building back from something. It's like the fire just wasn't there where I felt like I was going through the motions and I wasn't resenting my runs. I wasn't miserable training. I would have absolutely voiced something if I was. I would get bouts of like excitement after like completing workouts, but then it would just go away really quickly and I like wasn't excited and like really excited about pursuing like a PR. And what was interesting is like I was like I was so fit. Like I felt so good about going for a half PR. I was so confident. Like my workouts, I was like doing like so well. And it just wasn't doing it for me. And I just felt like I was going through the motions. And so her and I talked about that too, of just truly like how I was feeling. And I think that that was like between talking to her and then talking to Lauren, my PT, about things, it was eye opening that it's like, just take a break, like just give yourself a break, run for fun, do what you feel like this week, I'm not running again this week and I'm focusing on strength and like I'm having fun doing that. Like I got up and did our full body lift this morning. I had PT yesterday and we're prioritizing just like taking another week to like work on some other things since she's having me introduce like plyos and stuff this week. So like, yeah, like and it'll be helpful too from an ankle perspective for her to like not like things not be skewed by running, like in case it's like the plyos that are aggravating the ankle and not the run like or yeah the
Mm-hmm.
plyos and not the running and that kind of thing. So I think just like going back to introducing one stressor at a time and not feeling this pressure like that I put on myself. Like, not that there was never any pressure. It's just pressure that I put on myself that it's like, okay, I have to like get back to running. When it's like, I kind of know deep down that I, I don't want to right now. Like, I want to prioritize my body being strong and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Like overall health. Like, and it's so interesting how that's been such a shift for me. Like, I just want to be overall healthy. So, yeah, it's really, I think like, by making that decision, it's like this huge weight that I didn't realize was on my shoulders was like lifted and I've been so much happier and I've been like enjoying my like weeks so far. And I admit like I want to get back to running. It's not that I don't want to get back to running, but I don't feel pressure to have to rush back to it. And I can
Yeah.
really do things in a diligent way so that way I can get back to like running healthy and pain free. Like it's so nice to feel like I'm really prioritizing it how I should be right now. And again, this all goes back to my own pressure that I put on myself. Like I could always communicate those things, but something taking the coach hat off and like knowing this about myself as an athlete is I'm very like type A. I like to follow the plan. I like to check things off and
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten better at like being flexible, but I think that, yeah, I'm just not like good at listening to my gut sometimes on like what I know I should be doing. So yeah, it was hard and I feel this like weird space of like, okay, I don't have a coach right now because again, I've worked
Yeah.
with one ongoing for so long, but at the same time I just know that it's so good for me. And I think what's also helpful is just knowing that I have Carly's support from like a friend, like just like how conversation I have with my athletes. And I just had this conversation with a couple people that I've worked with a really long time, and both of these two women, Elizabeth and um, Jennifer, shout out, I miss you guys. But the one thing that I even shared with them is like, just like they both wanted to take a break from running. Like the one had been training for marathons ongoing. The other one just like was having fun doing other things, and wanted to prioritize like other goals that she had outside of running. And so we had worked together for like between those two, like 3+ years. So there is that element of like, this feels weird, but I know is like what I need.
Yeah.
So I feel really good about it. And I'm like proud of myself too for like, I wouldn't have gotten to that decision. If one, my ankle didn't get hurt again, which I feel I'm a huge believer that everything happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And like, this is something that I've needed for a little bit now. And if I didn't hurt my ankle, I wouldn't have been where I am now. So now I'm actually like, I'm not sad that that happened. I'm like so grateful that that happened. And then also really grateful again for like therapy and like friends like you guys, like all my friends in my life who I've reached out to for support. Ow. I banged my elbow on the table, but like you guys are just like great sounding boards for me as I'm like talking through things on like what I'm thinking and feeling. And so I think that, yeah, it just, and my husband too was always there. He always hears me ramble, but I really wouldn't like be where I'm at now without all like every step of the process. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm so happy for you. And I know that you already know this, that I fully support your decisions for everything, and that, more is shared between you and I than what we share on the podcast. So by being able to see you kind of come out and say all of this and just be like really honest, not with other people, but more so just with yourself about where you're at in your journey and the decisions that need to be made to that are best for you. Like, I'm really proud of you for that, because I know it's not easy to walk away from a relationship with a coach that you have built for 4+ years. Like, that's not easy to do. And then also, like, admit to yourself and not be in denial of like, I need to back off running and I really just need to get my body healthy again. And I really like that your therapist, obviously your therapist is awesome and she's done so many awesome things for you and kind of helped you in so many different ways, but just showing you like what other things in your life. And I know you and I have talked about like voice, like kind of got back and forth about this conversation of just like, you like to run, but you're not a runner. That's not like who you are. It's just something that we do. And if you only look at yourself as such, that can get so easily taken away. And then what? And then if it's almost like this identity crisis of like, well, who am I? What do I have to value? What value do I have? What do I offer? And so I know that I've had conversations like that about that with other people in my life too. And it's really eye-opening when you really sit down and kind of like unpack that a little bit and look at that and be like, well, what does that mean then? Like, who am I? Like, what? And then just like being able to do other things in your life and being able to prioritize them, like you were talking about, and like making that list and prioritizing them, I think is really awesome. And I think it's just kind of goes to show that like us as coaches, we preach things and we tell our coaches or our athletes all these things about, and we truly believe a lot of the stuff, right? Like,
oh my God,
right, like that your training should work around your life and not the other way around, and all this stuff. And like we preach that. We really encourage our athletes to be flexible in that sense, and we try to live by that as well. But like even I catch myself doing that sometimes. Like Tuesday nights, Bobby's back playing softball again, and it's the night before my big workout. And normally I would say, well, no, I don't want to go because I don't want to get home at 9:30. I've got my big workout the next morning. Excuse me. But last night I was like, no, we're going to go. And so I went and I took all the kids, and I ended up leaving at like 8 just because Charlie she had to go to bed. But Caleb did not get home. They didn't get at home, and Caleb did not go to bed until 10 o'clock at night.
Oh my God.
And it was like, and I was still up, and I knew I had to get up at 4:30. So it was like, I'm trying to also at the same way, like be like, I'm not training for the Olympics. I am just doing my thing out here. So I need to have more like just chill about stuff. So I think that's a good reminder for everybody, because as much as we live this like every single day, and we coach people to have that approach to training in life every single day, we're human and we still do those things. So a good reminder kind of for everybody.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll say thanks. The last thing I'll say too, that was like an interesting thing that I had a shift of perspective in is that, and again, so silly when you really think about it, but I used to like tell myself that unless I'm training for a race, I'm not going to be inspired as a coach, like for my athletes, which was like weird, where it's like I need to be training for a race to like be inspired with just like, and when I say inspired, I don't mean that I'm not enjoying coaching, but just like ideas and like be like fiery and like over the moon excited about like, I don't know, methods, like stuff that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And like this last week has shown me that that's not the case. And there's other ways that I can get inspired. And like one of the things too that came up for me when it came to like the personal development, ongoing education domain was like, that's something that I rank as like 8 out of 10 in terms of importance to me that I want to do. But like, I haven't like prioritized that at all in the last like month plus. And so that's something I'm even prioritizing of like, I've been curious about like, just like learning more, like as a coach, like just learning like new philosophies and like taking time to like read about that stuff. Looking into other, like not even like trainings, like certification trainings, but like about like just other just things like furthering my education. Like stuff, I've been wanting to do that. I'm not prioritizing it. So now like even yesterday, it's like I ordered 3 books on Amazon right away. But yesterday I like read for 30 minutes during the day and was like highlighting stuff. And like that was, I'm like, ooh, I'm like filling that. So it's like so many little things. And I'm just glad I broke a lot of like those rules I wasn't even realizing I was like putting on myself. Yeah, I just feel this like sense of freedom. We love, I'm in
love
this
it.
weird era. I'm just really happy. But
Well, good.
yeah,
That's what matters. That's what's important.
yeah,
It sounds like all the decisions that were made were the right decisions because you have that peace about it.
Yep, exactly. But that's all I got, man. The last thing, we can save this for another episode, like after the trial. Like next week, maybe will be good for us to talk about the trials, but I want us to talk about the trials next week too.
That's a good idea. I need to watch a little bit more. I tend to have competition.
You're
with
in
the
bed.
Well, that
You're in
and
bed by the time the like exciting ones are going on.
I know.
Anyways,
or I'm competing with the Red Sox on the TV.
Yeah,
I guess I could go in my bedroom and watch. I don't like doing
it's
that.
usually the events that I've been wanting to watch are like at 10 p.m. our time around there, and then they last like 10 minutes, and then that's it.
I know.
But
I might just have to watch recaps.
If not, I'll catch up. I'll catch up. I'll catch you up. And I think that's actually very relatable because I think sometimes like with the trials and stuff, like people are like, oh, you have to like be watching it. It's okay if you don't. Like I'll catch you up on it. Like
I'd be sleeping.
Not everybody watches that stuff or they're in bed already. So you're fine.
Yeah. I could always just watch recaps and read up on things before the podcast.
Sidious magazine, like their Instagram page is great, and you'll be able to like get caught up on their
what
stuff.
is it?
I think they have it's like Sidious. I think it's called Sidious Mag. But they pump out all the updates with Sidious Mag. But they're like a media company for like track and field. They share everything on there. And I think they have a YouTube too. So if you want to stay up to date, like that's a good for other people too. It's a good account to follow on Instagram. And see if they have a YouTube. But they do interviews and stuff too. But we'll save that for next week. But
okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today, guys, and listening to our Corral Chronicles over the last week. We are excited to see you next time. If you want to learn more about joining our team, Relentless Runners, you can learn more at www.relentlessrunners.com. And you can also follow us over on our Instagram, where we post a lot of educational stuff, celebrate our athletes. If you want to follow Christine and I's own journeys, you can follow us on our own social pages too, which she'll link below. But we are looking forward to seeing you guys next time.